Today's talk is called Your Value Can Never Be Diminished. And I want to start off with a story. I actually heard an analogy on what our value is like from Joel Osteen, because I loved what he had to say about this. He said, if I had a crisp $100 bill just out of the bank, would you want it? Well, of course you would. Now, what if I took that $100 bill and crumpled it up and made a real little ball out of it? Would you still want it? Yep, because it's still $100. Now, let's say I took it out to the parking lot, and I put it in the street, and I rolled over it in my car and got oil and all kind of schmutz on it. Would you still want it? Yeah, because it's still worth $100, $100. Well, so are you. No matter how much you've been run over, no matter how much the circumstances of your life have knocked you down, knocked you over, and made you feel less than, you are still worth the exact same as when you were born. Your value is divine. It is your birthright, and it is whole and complete. It is only when we forget this, when we start feeling that somehow our circumstances have anything at all to do with our worth, that it limits us. Dr. Ernest Holmes tells us no person whose entire time is spent in the contemplation of limitation can demonstrate freedom from such limitation. So if we're stuck in thinking about ourselves as less than, we are imprisoned by that. And that's where we start feeling really less than, when we feel imprisoned by the limitations and circumstances of our lives. If that's what we're thinking about all the time, then we're not thinking about the brilliant, brilliant person that we truly are, the infinite person, the divine person that we truly are. Dr. Holmes tells us again, the law through which we operate is infinite, but we appear to be finite. That is, we have not yet evolved to a complete understanding of ourselves. As our understanding unfolds, the possibilities of attainment will increase. And so as we become more and more aware of our divine nature, of the value that is our birthright, the value that is already ours, nothing we have to earn, nothing we got to do to get it. It's already yours. It's already mine. It's here. We're not like a car that as soon as it gets off the lot drops in value, and then as time passes becomes less and less value. No, we're like that $100 bill that keeps its value no matter how much it gets beat up. You are valuable. You are valuable because you are divine. In order for free will to exist, we had to discover for ourselves at our own pace and in our own way how large and in what ways our unique finite container holds the infinite. Even concepts like faith, conviction, and acceptance expressed differently through through each of us. What we embody with our mental equivalence is about any subject can never be compared to another. Now, what do I mean by mental equivalent? I mean, how great can you think of yourself? How great can you hold yourself? How big of a container can you make for the infinite to pour in? Because the larger you are willing to hold yourselves, the more the divine can be there in you. It is through our depth of embodiment and the solidity of our personal mental equivalent that makes all the difference in whether what we desire creates, demonstrates, or not. This is a very personal relationship that we can never be compared to another. Dr. Holmes says, if prayer has been answered, it's not because God has been moved to answer one person and not another, but because one person more than another has moved themselves into a right relationship with spirit or the principle of being, whichever you choose to call it. And what he means by that is knowing yourself as the divine. The more you move into the right relationship of knowing yourself as the divine, the more your life demonstrates that way for you. Now, I know some of you have been through incredible pain and incredible sorrow, and your circumstances have been tremendously severe. But none of us have been given anything that do not have everything we have to deal with that circumstance, to be with that circumstance, to overcome that circumstance. We have it all. It's only if we think we don't. Dr. Holmes tells us wherever we are, however intolerable the situation may be, we are just where we belong. Because this is where we get to recognize time and time again. We are given so many opportunities throughout our lives to recognize the fact that we are the divine. And every time we react to a circumstance as if that's not true, we have lessened our own value. It's still the same value, except we've lessened it. We have taken the infinite and made it smaller, finite. Life is about growing our container, not shrinking it. And our circumstances cannot shrink our container. Only we can. The right relationship is the embodiment of infinite intelligence. Infinite intelligence. That's what we have. That is what is for us. That is what is here for us to grow from. You are valuable. You are always valuable. What you think, say, believe matters and can't be compared to anybody else. It's not selfish. It's not wrong. You get to have it because life is infinite. And through that, we get to grow our capacity. We get to grow who we are so that our circumstances unfold for us in a way of knowing that we are held in the divine. All we have to do is remember that for ourselves. All we have to do is stand up to the plate again, no matter how many times we've been struck out, and say, okay, we are infinite, we are due. And if they strike out again, then do it again. Your value is not diminished. It is here for you to rise up. Rise up. This is what is within each of us. Grow that container, let more of the infinite in, and let our lives then demonstrate that we have done that. If our lives feel small, if you feel imprisoned, no matter what the circumstance, I promise you, you can shift it simply by recognizing your divinity, your sense of infinite, your sense of wholeness. You are loved. No matter what the circumstance, you are loved by that divine power that says yes to your life. Don't let your negative thoughts bring you down. Don't let your ways of believing bring you down and make you small. Shift the way you see your life because you are exactly where you belong in this moment. And when you recognize that the infinite, the divine is right there with you, it opens it up to the infinite possibilities of creation that are available to you. I have been dealing with, I have this work to do on my computer. And my computer has been crashing on average every 5 to 10 minutes. There was a time in my life when this would have driven me crazy, when my blood pressure would have literally gone up. And because I have been sitting with this idea of me as divinity, I am able to simply work through the problem in an entirely new way of knowing that of course it gets solved. And in that knowing that of course it gets solved, my blood pressure is not going up. I am relaxed in a way I have never been with my computer problems before. And because of it, my health is improving. This is what's possible when we see life differently. The problem is still there, though I'm sure I will solve it. And in the past, my body would have gotten so tense. I would have been so beside myself because, oh my God, I have work to get done. And yet, I have reached a place now of simply knowing that this is not the be-all, end-all, that there are infinite possibilities in every moment, and of course this will be fixed. Of course, the perfect and right outcome for my highest good will occur. And I am here to tell you that the same is true for you. The perfect and right outcome is there for you right now. You are right where you belong. The infinite is right there with you. You are right where you belong. The divine is within you. And through all of that, your life will blossom with simply the recognition that that is the truth. The deeper you embody the truth of your divinity, the more your life will demonstrate. If your life's not demonstrate, sit deeper in the fact that you are the divine. Have faith. Know the truth. Like Ernest Holmes tells us, to abandon the truth in our hour of need is to not understand the truth. Whatever the circumstances, sit with calm assurance in the truth that you are the divine and your life can transform through the divinity that you are. Thank you. I love you.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.